What's up, Outer Banks? I'm Sue Arts with OBXEntertainment.com and OBXE TV. And today with us we have a very special guest, Rob Jenkins, who is the head psycho over at the Lost Colonies PsychoPath. Now that's getting ready to open in a couple weeks, right?
Yep, we open October 2nd and we run every Friday, Saturday in October.
Nice, nice. So you guys, this is your third or fourth year?
This is our third year, yes.
Nice, nice. So I know everybody's talking about it, like how great it is, but this year it's going to be even better.
Well, we took a lot of the ideas that we had last year and really moved forward with them. We took what people really liked last year, for example, the green fog area. It almost looked like you were walking through a bog. And we've incorporated that into a couple different areas as well. Really invested in some really cool, high quality technology scares.
Nice.
That are going to really catch people off guard. You won't even know really that it's there until it already happens.
Nice.
Have gone kind of back to the basics of scaring too, to where I've created a couple scares that probably cost me less than $15, but are going to be some of the most effective things in the entire world. I can't give any of them away,
of course.
But I'm very, very impressed with everything we've been able to do to make the third year PsychoPath as great as it is. I mean, I'm so excited to share this path with people.
Nice, nice. So this is like, is it like a path that they walk through, or?
It's a self-guided tour. Normally on average it's taken between 25-35 minutes to walk through it. I want to guarantee that it will take between 35 maybe 45 minutes this year.
Nice.
The soundstage by itself, we've only used maybe a quarter of the room for the past 2 years. This year the entire thing is used. We actually have a dedicated 16 different scares inside the soundstage itself.
Wow.
I have also upped the amount of scare actors that we have, and the really cool thing that we haven't really made official yet, but I'll do it, is we're doing a completely different path this year than we've done before in the past. So you'll start in a completely different new spot and actually end up in the sound stage, whereas before you've started in the sound stage and worked your way through the theater.
Wow.
So we really went back to the basics and tried to create an all-new experience for people who've come the past 2 years that they can go through and be like, wow, that's completely different than anything I've ever seen.
Cool, nice, nice. So, like, what ages would you think would be
I would
appropriate?
still recommend probably kids 12 and older.
Okay.
Again, like I said last year, you can bring them if they're a little bit younger than that, but just make sure that they understand that it's fake. It's not real. Like I have a little niece who's 9 years old who's thrilled to go through it.
Nice.
And I've really stressed to her that it's not real, so she understands that, but it's definitely going to be a lot more intense than it has been before in the past couple years.
Nice.
Just down to the intensity of the scares and the sets themselves, where the sets themselves will actually put you in a mindset and then completely switch it when you go to a new spot or somebody else catches you off guard. It's definitely something that's going to mess with the mind.
Nice. So it's kind of like there's like each area like kind of has a story, and the character kind of has like a story or something like.
Yeah, like there's a central storyline throughout all of it, which I can't reveal most of it. There will be a video that's released before the opening that will give a little bit more of the backstory of what's happening down there, pretty much on Roanoke Island, and it's like I said, it's fully interactive. There will be static scares, but then also at the same time static scares included with actual people, actors. Some of the props themselves, it's just, I mean, the name of the path this year, we decided to call it The Terror Within. And I haven't really been very open with what the terror is, but it's definitely something that's going to mess with your mind.
Nice. Well, what about like if somebody's like going through and they're like halfway through and then they get scared and want to leave? I'm just asking for myself.
No, we've always had, there are plenty of like fire escapes, everything, especially in the soundstage and throughout the rest of it, of the maze itself. And at any time, if you actually have to come out because you're just too scared, myself and usually someone else is always walking around the grounds of it and the actor themselves will actually stop. They'll break character, and they'll take care of you. They won't keep. I mean, now if you're a 16-year-old kid and you're doing, oh, I'm scared, but you're not really scared, they're gonna keep coming after you.
But there's probably like no touching or anything.
No, we don't grab anybody, things like that, nothing like that. I mean, because most places, if you touch people, you got to sign a waiver.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with waivers. So yeah, nobody will actually grab you or anything like that. You might brush up against a prop or something, but I mean that happens in normal day life. I'm walking through Walmart. I mean, running with stuffed animals and stuff. So.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna try it out this year, but I'm a little easily frightened.
No,
you should give like the scared people like a special light or something to hold up when they're like, I'm done.
No, well, it's one of those where you're paying to be put in that mindset though.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're almost to the point where you have to leave a haunted house, I feel the haunted house has done you justice because you're in essence getting your money's worth because you're up to the point where you're like, I can't take it anymore. So I always love like the psychology behind haunted houses and things like that too. Like I find it funny that people love horror.
They do.
Whether it's TV shows, movies, haunted houses, books, what have you, they love horror, and it's very exciting and humbling to be able to be on the creative process of something of this magnitude.
Yeah, that's awesome. So like, how did you get your start? Have you always loved horror?
I've liked horror since I was very little, but it wasn't until I lived in New York that I started working for a haunted house called Time Scare, and I was their production manager and assistant to fabrications, and I helped them build the haunted house, staff it, and run it. And that's really what kind of got me into the whole haunted house realm. I worked at Busch Gardens a couple years ago as well too, and one of the things I worked on a lot was the houses, because Howl of Scream does about 5 or 6 different houses a year, and so it was nice having that sort of base, because coming to the Lost Colony, I want to say a fraction of the budget that I had working at Busch Gardens, and still being able to bring a product that is good. Well, the one in New York, I was the guy's assistant. He actually, I didn't design it or anything. It wasn't until PsychoPath that I was able to actually start designing paths myself. I assisted with some of the stuff, or some of the designs actually at Busch Gardens, but mine was more, we need this specific prop for this spot. Because every single haunt at Busch Gardens, for example, has a main storyline behind it. The guests might actually not know what it is, but they have a full synopsis of what every haunt is, what the backstory is, the haunt, the actors, everything like that. Nice.
So how did you just come up with all the ideas? You watch like a lot of movies when you were a kid? Or?
I search the internet a lot. Like we don't start designing late November, early December. Me and Lance Culpepper over at the Lost Colony, and we really take 3 or 4 months to just look at different ideas.
Cool. So when you're going through, is there like a lot of other people around you, or do you like let a certain amount of people go through?
We're gonna let around groups of 6 go in. We have certain key points that once they pass, we'll start letting the other groups in. I've actually designed it this year to where we have almost, in essence, a second queue line inside of the haunted house, so we can always control the flow of it at one point. The goal is for one group to not meet up to the other group, but that of course inevitably happens sometimes. I mean, the first year we had a group of, I think it was like 5 football players, and I kid you not, they got in football formation and ran through the entire haunted house.
I could see doing that.
I never got a chance to, unfortunately, to figure out who they were, but it was hilarious. But sometimes you do catch up to the other groups, but we've designed it to where there should be enough to prevent you from actually ever seeing anybody.
Cool, nice. So is there, like, if people show up, is there a line that they have to wait in?
There's a queue line, of course, just like for any other haunted house. But sometimes when we get super busy, if you want to, you can buy the Ghost Pass. And what a Ghost Pass is, it's $10 extra, and it magically puts you in front of the line.
Nice.
It's pretty much, it's similar to the Fast Pass that Busch Gardens would have. If you went down to Disney, you could get something like that. It lets you bypass the line. So sometimes we have anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half wait.
Wow. That's long.
It just depends on what night it is and at what time. I would say our busiest times are usually right at opening. I want to say right around 7:45, 8 o'clock, till about 9:30.
Okay.
You can expect a good 45-minute wait.
Huh. So if people want to buy tickets online, where do they go? Is there somewhere online that they, like a website? Or?
They can go to thelostcolony.org, and there's a little PsychoPath tab on the side. You just click on that. You can also call the box office, or on the day that you want to come in. Like I said, we open October 2nd. You can just buy them right there at the box office.
Nice. Do you ever like sell out?
We don't really ever sell out. I would say we sell our last ticket at 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And the tickets are $15, just like last year, but there are $2 off coupons floating around the Outer Banks here and there. And yeah, and like I said, we open, I want to say, right at 7:30, 7:45 when it starts getting dark, and we run till 11 o'clock. Well,
nice.
We sell the last ticket at 11 o'clock. We've gone till about midnight before because we've had
so
a line
people.
of 30, 45 people in line at 11. So every ticket sold before 11 we honor.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
So on a more just like personal level, I know this year you just became a new dad, and so how do you celebrate the Halloween season at your house? Do you decorate there, or do you save it all for work?
Well, this year I've been focusing so much on PsychoPath. I don't really know if I want to decorate at the house or anything.
Right.
And yeah, you're right. I did have just a little baby boy.
Nice.
May 3rd this year. Robert Earl Jenkins III.
Nice.
He's awesome. Got the 3 underneath him. But yeah, I mean, we're open on Halloween night, so there isn't really much that we're going to be able to do. Yeah, my wife, fortunately, is going to be able to go with him and take him trick-or-treating out with all my nieces and nephews and everything. But I'll be at the haunted house scaring everybody. I'll see him in his little costume and everything. So.
Nice. Have you picked out the costume?
No, not yet. We're still trying to figure out what.
It's a tough decision.
I know.
Especially
it's
first one.
First. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure something out though.
Cool. Well, I'm sure it'll be great with creative dad like you. So.
We'll leave it up to his mom, maybe. You know, I'd probably dress him as like a little Ewok or something.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, this is the year for that.
It's true. Very true. Very true.
Yep. Cool. Well, thanks so much for being here today, and we're gonna try to definitely make it out, and I'll try not to be too scared.
No, definitely. I look forward to seeing you guys out there. Thank you for having me on.
I'm Sue Arts with OBXEntertainment.com and OBXE TV, and we'll see you next time.